Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, man gunned down after arriving home in Portmore. A man was gunned down outside his home in Cumberland, Portmore, St. Catherine on Thursday. It is reported that Garth Taylor pulled up and parked at his Potterdale Drive premises when men on motorcycle came up and opened fire. Taylor was shot repeatedly. His attackers then fled. Investigators from the St. Catherine South Police responded to the fatal shooting. Trelawney husband charged with wife's stabbing in Clarendon 10 years ago. 47-year-old Anthony Mendez, a farmer and a construction worker of Waitabete, Trelawney, was charged following an incident on Sharp Avenue in Maypen, Clarendon on Saturday, June 20, 2015. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 6:30 p.m. on that day, Mendez and his wife, who were at a guest house in the parish, got into a dispute during which Mendez allegedly stabbed his wife, then escaped in the area on foot. The woman was assisted to the hospital where she was treated and later released. She subsequently made a report to the police and an investigation was started. On Monday, January 6, 2025, Mendez was apprehended by the Ulster Spring Police in Trelawney and was later escorted to the Maypen police station. He was later pointed out by the complainant. Mendez was officially charged with the offense of wounding with intent on Wednesday, January 15. His court date is being finalized. Teens charged after cops find motor vehicle parts in St. Andrew home. 2 teenagers were charged after police stumbled upon several motor vehicle parts at a house at 83 Lane in St. Andrew on Tuesday. The two, 18-year-old Kyle Scoff from Cartina Close and Macarius Monroe, 19, a delivery man from Ricketts Crescent, both in Kingston 11, were held at the home with the vehicle parts. Both the men were charged with unlawful possession of property and are to appear in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court this week. Reports are that around 2:45 p.m., police were on an operation at 81 Lane in Kingston 11 when strange sounds were heard coming from the premises opposite. The police went to investigate, and the accused men, on seeing the lawmen, reportedly attempted to flee the premises. Several motor vehicle parts were found in one of the rooms. The parts included 4 white car doors, 1 right-hand fender, and 1 white running board. The value of the items was not ascertained. The men, the police said, could not give a satisfactory account as to how the vehicle parts came to be in the house and could not prove ownership of the items. The parts were seized and the men were taken into police custody. They were subsequently charged. Curfew imposed in sections of Denham Town, Kingston West. The 72-hour curfew that was imposed in sections of Denham Town community in Kingston Western has been reinstituted. The curfew has been in effect from 8 a.m. on Thursday, January 16, and will remain in effect until 8 a.m. on Sunday, January 19. The boundaries of the curfew are as follows. North, starting at the intersection of Little King Street and the Racecourse Lane, Blunt Street, traveling to the fence line, forming the western periphery of the Golden Heights housing development, also annexing the northern and eastern sections of the said development, traveling south along the paved gully and continuing to the intersection of William Street and Upper Rose Lane. East along the intersection of William Street and Upper Rose Lane, continuing south along Rose Lane to the intersection of Beeston Street and Rose Lane. South starting at the intersection of Beeston Street and Rose Lane, continuing west along Beeston Street to the intersection with the Spanish Town Road. West along Little King Street from Spanish Town Road to the intersection of Racecourse Lane, Blunt Street. During the hours of the curfew, all individuals within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Curfew imposed in sections of St. Andrew Central Police Division. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of the St. Andrew Central Police Division. The curfew, which began at 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 16, will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Saturday, January 18. The areas of the curfew are as follows. North along an imaginary line from Kingston Eastern border to the mountainside in Gordon Town. South along an imaginary line from Pandora Crescent in the vicinity of Bay Farm Road to Mountain View Primary. East along an imaginary line from Mountain View Primary to Kingston Eastern border, and the west along an imaginary line from Bay Farm Road to the mountainside in Gordon Town. During the hours of the curfew, all individuals within its boundaries are required to remain in their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Curfew imposed in St. Catherine South. Another 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of the St. Catherine South Police Division. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 16, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Saturday, January 18. The areas for the curfews are as follows. North along an imaginary line from Ferry District to St. Catherine, running westerly, inclusive of Caymanas Estates, Caymanas Bay, the Caymanas Glades, sections of the Edwards-Seaga Highway, Windsor Heights, and the Central Village to the border of the St. Catherine North Division, round about the Jose Marte High School. West along an imaginary line from the border of St. Catherine North Division from the Jose Marte High School across the Rio Cobre in a southeast direction to the Lake Spend Main Road to the intersection of Dyke Road, across the farmlands to the western border of St. Catherine, leading in a northerly direction to the vicinity of Hill Run, which includes Clifton, Dumbe Holding, and the Bernard Lodge to the P.J. Patterson Highway east to west. South along the coastal line from the vicinity of the western border with the St. Catherine North running west to east to the Portmore Causeway, encompassing Hellshire and the sections of the Kingston Harbor. East from the south coast in the vicinity of Portmore Causeway, running north to Ferry District to the Soapberry Plant. North along an imaginary line from the western border to Clarendon in the vicinity of Planters Hall, running easterly to the border of St. Catherine North in the vicinity of Kingston Town. East along an imaginary line from Kingston Town, running southerly to the southern coastal line, comprising Nightingale Grove, High House, Grove Farm, and the Bushy Park Agricultural Park. South along the southern coastal line to Bushy Park to the border to Clarendon, encompassing the Goat Island and Old Harbor Bay. West along an imaginary line from the southern coastal line, running northerly from the border with the Clarendon to Planters Hall. During the hours of the curfew, all individuals within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Another curfew imposed in sections of the Kingston Eastern Police Division. Another 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of the Kingston Eastern Police Division. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 16, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Saturday, January 18. The areas of the curfew are as follows. North along an imaginary line from Mountain View Primary School to Cane River Falls. South along the coastal line from the bridge at 10 miles to Flag Circle. East along an imaginary line to the Cane River Falls, leading towards the bridge at 10 miles to Bull Bay. West along South Camp Road from Flag Circle to Vineyard Road onto an imaginary line to the Mountain View Primary School. During the hours of the curfew, all individuals within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Firefighters battle massive bushfire in St. Catherine. Fueled by strong winds and the dry conditions, a ferocious bushfire erupted in a section of Inwood in St. Catherine on Thursday. Commissioner of Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, says firefighters were alerted to the blaze around 10:35 a.m. The fire affected the visibility of roads and the operations of the wider community. 2 units, one from the Old Harbor Fire Station and another from Spanish Town, responded to the blaze.
All our units responded. When they got there, they saw that the fire was covering a wide area, and so they called for assistance, which was provided by a unit from the Spanish Town Fire Station. The team fought that blaze for well over 4 hours, and as we speak, they're still on location. We are hoping to, extinguish this fire before before nightfall.
It's understood that in the initial stage, the smoke also forced some motorists to use their headlights to move along the roadway or divert from the area. Meanwhile, principal of Inwood High School, Collington Powell, told the news earlier on Thursday that a thick smoke blanketed the institution, forcing classes to an abrupt end.
The entire school population, became frantic. Students were displaying signs of respiratory issues and adults alike. So we had to really make a decision pretty quickly, and we decided to dismiss school at about 12:30 thereabouts. We made some quick reaching out to parents and so on to make them aware of the arrangements, but we had to take a quick decision. Assuming that the fire department gets it under control, because I know some units were dispatched. We heard them and I saw a couple at least. Assuming that they get it under control this evening to this afternoon to this evening to overnight, then I'm assuming that school should be fine for tomorrow.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.